And welcome to Counsel of the Day with Shanrae, and I am Shanrae. I am running a little bit behind tonight. I got in a little late from work tonight, so y'all bear with me. We're going to be running over a little bit. What time is it? Woo! So instead of getting off at about 9:30, we'll get off about 9:40 because we're going to do 30 minutes of counsel. But welcome to Counsel of the Day with Shanrae, November 2024. This month's topic is Dare to Dream. This week's subtopic is Dare to Dream in your career or in your career of interest. Give me 1 minute because I'm going on TikTok. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. I'm going on TikTok for the first time live tonight. So I kind of had everything queued up, but guess not, right? So I am trying to go on and get in. Y'all give me a minute, please. Woo, I tell you, this multitasking ain't no joke. All right, but I'm going to go live. Give me a minute. Okay, like I said, I am learning how to do this with TikTok. Give me a minute. And there's something else I got to do with TikTok, and then we're going to get started. I think I'm supposed to, I guess I could just go live. All right. Well, I'm actually going live, guys. All right. So welcome TikTok. I am here on tonight. And welcome to Counsel of the Day with Shanrae. I'm Shanrae. I'm actually on week 2 of my Counsel of the Day with Shanrae. Excuse me. This is an open forum. So if you have any questions or any scenarios that you'd like to talk about, I don't mind stopping and sharing and everything, but we're going to go. I'm a Christian counselor. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm so used to having my PowerPoints. And so with my first time going on TikTok, I don't have any PowerPoints or anything set up in TikTok. I'm going to figure this out though. Like I said, this is my first time going live on TikTok. So this month's topic is Dare to Dream. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out maybe I need to put it this way. How can I look both ways? I'm just going to be going back and forth. And thank you for my TikTok viewers. But again, this month's topic is Dare to Dream. This week's subtopic is Dare to Dream in your careers. Give me one moment. I'm trying to share something with a viewer. They asked for me to please let them know when I go live, and I told them I would share with them when I go live. All right. Okay, and then we're gonna move this along. Woo, it has been a day. I'm in Georgia, so it's been really rainy all day long in Georgia. I mean, rainy. It's been rainy. So let me find myself here, and I'm gonna get it started, and we're gonna go on and get started. Let me make sure that I found it. There we go. Found it. Here we go. Let me share this really quick. And then we're going to keep it moving. Okay. let me do this one more time, and then we're gonna get started. Oh, I don't like running late. I actually talked about this. I actually talked about this the other night, last week, about time. Okay. All right. So let's move this along. Okay. So tonight, I am a Christian therapist. And so let me move this on. And I've acquired my degrees. I'm a degree counselor from Ashford University. I've acquired a dual degree in psychology and organizational management. So I just briefed that over with my bio. I wish I had more visuals for you all. TikTok, I'm going to figure this out how I can have some visuals for y'all on Thursday. I'm going to really try to figure my first night on TikTok going live. So y'all please bear with me. I have my website disclaimer that was just shown there. Okay, I'm a Christian counselor. So the scripture for this month is from Deuteronomy 31:6. The NIV version, it says, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Okay, so that is the scripture for this month. All right, so we're talking about Dare to Dream this month. In November, we're getting ready to move into a whole new year, 2025. There's been some shockers that we've experienced within the last few weeks, but we're gonna be all right. Like that scripture I just read, we're gonna be okay. Deuteronomy, we're gonna be all right, okay? And so I want to encourage people to still dream. Last week we talked about dare to dream and travel. This week, we're going to talk about Dare to Dream. And if you're interested in a different career path, if you want to educate yourself on something, it don't have to be everything major. You don't always have to go back to college to educate yourself. Okay? You don't always have to. But if you are interested in, I don't know, something just went across, guys. I am not used to this. Let me take this out. Let me see if I can turn it this way. No, that's not going to work either. All right. I'm trying to look at the comments. Something just went across. All right. So I just want to encourage you to dare to dream. All right. So the definition, whenever it comes to change, whenever it comes to daring to do something, change is always a factor. Okay. And so the definition for change is to replace something with something else, especially something of the same kind that is newer or better. Substitute one thing for another. So when we're daring to dream, when we're wanting to do something different, change is a factor. Okay, we've got to implement change into whatever we're going to do. So let's move this on. Changing can be scary. Excuse me. It could be a little scary when it comes to change. But that's a part of life. Okay, that's a part of life. There's a first time for everything that we do. But once we get experience in whatever, or we get a little bit of knowledge in something, then a lot of times it becomes more of a routine, right? So encourage your viewers to share. Okay, all right. So I'm not thinking about that right now. This is, like I said, this is my first time on TikTok. So it'll get better, guys, for you viewers. Thank you for viewing. So let's move to our key points that I'm going to be talking on tonight. Okay. I'm working, I'm on 4 different platforms, guys. So I'm working PowerPoints on all of the other ones. And like I said, I'm going to learn how to upload PowerPoints for TikTok. The key points for tonight is 1, how to educate yourself and unleash your creativity. Number 2, knowledge plus information equals ideas. Number 3 is how to educate yourself every single day. Number 4 is 5 awesome mediums to getting you started. And then we have our takeaway and our quote, of course. All righty then. So tonight's theory is by Patrick Ed Blad, by theorist Patrick Ed Blad. Okay. And so he talks about how to educate yourself and unleash your creativity. One moment, I want to make sure that I'm looking at, I'm answering, making sure I'm answering people that are on other platforms. Again, this is an open platform. All righty then. Okay. So, how to educate yourself and unleash your creativity. So, Dr. Ed Blank, he talks about when he was in elementary school. He said he had classmates. His classmates were assigned to read a book called Good Night, Mr. Tom. That's a very, very familiar book, Good Night, Mr. Tom. Okay, so he said as he's researching the article, the book actually looks pretty good. But at that point in time, he had no intentions of actually reading the book. And so he said, to tell you the truth, and this is theorist Patrick E. I'm going to say Dr. E. He said that as he started, he said, to tell you the truth, he went out of his way to find ways to pass on that assignment without even having to crack the book open, is what Dr. E said. He said it was a standard practice for all educational material that came his way, that it just didn't spark any immediate interest to him. And there are a lot of us, if it's a big book, a thick book, and it's a book that's not really entertaining, most of us is going to pass on it. We're going to be like, pass, I'm not going to spend time. I'm not going to give all my time reading this boring book, you know. So he said he usually found ways to effortlessly pass the assignments by skimming through most of the important sections in the books, and then making it seem like he put more time into it than he did. But little did he know that how much damage he was actually causing to himself, creating and limiting his understanding through the world by just skimming through stuff. So this is Dr. E. All right. So he's moving on to knowledge plus information equals ideas. Let me move this along. Knowledge plus information equals ideas. And we're going to get to the part about you sparking your dream to maybe, become something or to learn about something different, to enhance, to bring something new into your world. A new type of career path, or just more knowledge about something, or something different than your ordinary thing that you do. I guess your ordinary job or something like that. I was just listening to an audio book because I don't have a lot of time, but I love to read. I was taught as a child that a book could be your best friend. And that was years ago. I appreciate my mom because she instilled a love of reading books into my sisters and myself. So I don't have a lot of time to physically read books now, but I am so grateful for Audible. And I was listening to a book earlier, and in the book, one of the people that was talked about how he had to learn how not to limit himself by jumping out and learning something that he may not be very interested in learning, but it enhanced his knowledge on things. There's another, if you ever look on Prime, I think it's Prime, there is a movie called Ricky Stenicki on there. Oh my gosh, that is so funny with Mark Wahlberg's brother. What's his name? Big dude. From Fast and Furious. He plays Uncle Muscle. He plays Uncle Muscle on the Fast and Furious. I forgot his name. But he's playing in a movie on Prime called Ricky Stenicki. And Ricky Stenicki started out in the movie where he had kind of like a rough patch. He was just like this bartender. And it was some guys. I don't want to tell the storyline, but they needed somebody to cover up for their little weekend story. And they always used the name Ricky Stenicki whenever they did something that they should not have been doing, these guys, and they would pass the buck along to them. So now as adults, they're still friends. They're still doing this now with their wives. And whenever they say they're going to one place, but they're really going somewhere else, they always said that they was going to go and be with Ricky Stenicki, is what they said. And so This time they had to find someone to play Ricky Stenicki in order for their story to actually be believable. So they thought that they was gonna find somebody, some ordinary Joe, like I said, somebody just working in the bar who didn't seem like he had a lot going for himself at all. They brought him back home to their hometown, try to have him go along with the lie that they had pretended to do for years. But lo and behold, they didn't understand that Ricky Stenicki, he said, I don't like to lie. I'm not a liar. I'm not a liar. So as the thing went on that week, when they went back home that week, as stuff went on, different people would ask Ricky Stenicki about this scenario that happened years ago when they were children in that scenario. And so he would actually get, he would enhance what happened, but not lie. And what I mean by enhance is that he had so much book knowledge in his head. He has educated himself every day. Like this is talking about how to educate yourself every day. He would make it a practice to read up on certain things every day, to make sure he was up on modern day or current situations, politics, whatever that was going on, even in the market, with stocks and bonds. He educated himself on all types of topics, construction, anything like that. So it seems like everything that Ricky Stenicki fell into when he was being questioned about this and questioned about that, the guys was like, oh my God, how are we going to get out of this? He said he doesn't lie. And so he had so much knowledge about the topic that the person was asking till it seemed like it was believable. This is going right back to what Dr. E is talking about, how you can educate yourself on some things. You can educate yourself on things that you have interest in without you. I mean, I'm saying if you want to make it a whole career, then of course you have to educate yourself the proper way. Hey Tammy, how you doing? Okay, it's so good to see you too. She said, love it. Okay, it's so good to see you. And I want to thank everybody. I'm sorry, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I'm on TikTok. Thank all my viewers for tonight. But Ricky Stenicki was a perfect example of how he took every day of his life to educate himself on something that was a current event or something that he had interest in. And it made him more knowledgeable and gave him a little bit more substance when it came to him conversations or anything that he needed to know about. So let's move this on. Dr. E says, try to learn something about everything. And this is a quote. Try to learn something about everything and everything about something. This quote is by Thomas Huxley. Okay, so nurturing your mind with new knowledge and information is crucial for our creativity. It's crucial for us to be creative. It really is. Okay, an idea or insight happens when you take your current knowledge and combine it with new information. I've had the pleasure, and I'm not tooting my own horns or anything like that, but I've been blessed enough where I could travel the world and to be able to go to different parts of this big, beautiful world and see other cultures and to learn about other cultures. It really does broaden your perspective on things. It enlightens your mind. It gives you like great ideas that you can use and bring towards, your world and your life. So this is one of the things that Dr. E has been talking about. Let me move this along. I got the PowerPoint because, guys, I'll be talking and won't be moving this PowerPoint along. Okay, time for change. All right. So he said this simple formula shows that it is possible to create an idea from nothing. From nothing. Knowledge about glass, the ability of lenses to break light, and knowledge about how the eye works leads to inventions of glasses. Okay. All ideas have emerged when somebody or someone has combined their current knowledge with new information. I mean, think about your life. Think about your personal life. Whatever great ideas that you've come up with, it's emerged from your current knowledge, and then with new information that you have incorporated in your thinking pattern. And this is why, again, it is so important to gather a variety of different types of knowledge. The more knowledge you have, the more building blocks that you have to combine your new information with. And this is Dr. E again. He says you need knowledge to grow your mind. Tammy said yes. She said knowledge can never be taken away. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Tammy. She is so true about knowledge can never be taken away. Never. I tell you, think about, if you can think about, guys, think about maybe something that has happened in you, especially young adults. Something has happened. I remember when I had my first child, and he was very, very sensitive to the formula, the formula that the doctor said for him to take and drink, and it broke his skin out. He had such a terrible reaction from the formula that he had to drink. And so I took him to a specialist. The specialist wrote a hand letter to my grandmother, sealed it, and told me to go to my grandmother and give it to her. She opened up the letter, sat down and read it, and then she said, okay. Then she went and got a baked potato and put it in the oven. She went and started doing some things, and she got her fresh vegetables and started steaming them lightly. And then she started mashing them and pureeing them. And then when everything was done, she poured a little bit of milk from the cow, regular milk, in the potato, put it all in there together, mashed it up, and she spoon-fed. Kai, my oldest son, I think Kai was maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks old. He wasn't even a month old. But his skin had broke out so bad. And so she started feeding him every day. His skin got back to normal. And I finally asked my grandmother, I said, Grandma, what did the doctor say? He wrote a letter to her and said, Grandma, you know what to do. Feed this baby the way you used to feed your babies when you had them. And she said, okay. And from then on, all of my babies, all of them, grandma fed them. She would puree, and they had no more issues with their skin or digestion or anything like that. So, like Dr. E was saying, you need what was the more knowledge you have, the more building blocks you have. Okay, let's move this on. So, how to educate yourself every day. The following 3 small habits are very helpful when you want to become a better self-educator. Number 1, always look stuff up. We are in such a great age right now where you can Google, YouTube, do whatever you need to do. When I was growing up, I had to go to the library, go to the thesauruses, go to the dictionaries, sit down, look stuff up, write it down. I came from old school where we had to write down things. I would take it home, keep reading it over and over again, which to me, that was a great era, because most people, when you write it down, it gets in. It's easier for it to set in and for you to learn. So, but always look stuff up. Now we just have everything right here in our hands. This phone here, this smartphone, you can learn almost anything on your smartphone. Okay? He said if you have a smartphone, like I said, this is super easy to do. Have a dictionary and an encyclopedia ready to go on your smartphone. Everybody knows, if you don't know, dictionary.com, Wikipedia mobile. Y'all know that. Make it a routine to learn something new. Learn a new word. Learn a new word every day. Number 2, set aside 15. Dr. E says set aside 15 holy minutes. Okay? He said ideally the same time every day, no matter how hard pressed you are for time. He said you can always find 15 minutes. Okay, make this the time that you spend on your self-education every single day. Find enjoyable ways of learning. Like, it's easy now. You get a word every day sent to your email. You look it up, and it talks about, and it gives you the definition of the word. That's easy to do. That's an easy way to learn. There's another thing I don't even remember signing up for it, but it tells you it's email that I get, and it says this important event happened this day 70 years ago, 50 years ago, 30 years ago. That's another way to learn about things. Number 3, reflect in your journal. Let me tell you something. The higher up you get on your smartphones, I think this is a 14. I don't know. I think it's an iPhone 14. But the good thing about this, what I love is that the new app that comes on the phone is a journal app. Oh my gosh, I find myself journaling now. I love it. So like Dr. E says, reflect in your journal. Help your brain retain what you've learned by repeating it, okay? By repeating it. Write it down. Write down your biggest lessons and meaningful quotes in your journal. If you can do it every night, do it every night. Okay, go back once a week and review what you wrote down for the week. Okay, number 4, audiobooks. Guys, I just finished telling y'all, I love to read. But I don't have the time. So I'm so grateful for audiobooks. I'm grateful for Audible because I'm able to multitask. When I'm in my car riding home from work, I can listen to my audiobook on the way home from work. It's so relaxing listening to different audiobooks and learning about things. And like Dr. E says, this resource might just be the number one way that a lot of people can learn things. Okay, thanks to audiobooks. A lot of people can finish at least 2 books every month. The old saying is, hi, Lakita, hi, happy birthday, Keita, happy birthday. And the saying is, if you're supposed to read about 2 or 3 books a month, most of us don't have that much time in our schedule. But with audiobooks, you can. It's still reading. You're still retaining. Your brain is still taking in the information. Your brain is still functioning and it's still being stimulated by the things that you're learning and you're hearing. Okay. Number 5, podcast. Podcast, same thing. It's just live. It's people talking. They're educating you on different things. You can find different topics on podcasts that you may like, different topics that you may want to learn about. Okay, podcasts are amazing. Podcasts. So I am going to end right here because I'm right here at 30 minutes because I got a later start because I got in from work a little late this evening. We're going to pick this up Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. I left off. We're going to continue with Dr. E and then move on with this. But I gave y'all a lot of points and strategies tonight about educating yourself. You don't have to always do this formally by going back to college or trade school or anything like that. You can educate yourself every day on something that is interesting to you. There are some people that want to learn more about wine tasting, buying wine. Tammy said, research, look it up. That's number 1. Number 2, set aside 15 minutes. Thank you, Tammy. She got it. Number 3, reflect on your journal, retain what you have learned, write it down and review. Number 4, audio books, put them to use. Take it. And number 5, podcast. Thank you, Tammy. She wrote it down, guys. Yes, thank you. So these are great ways that you can educate yourself every day. Okay. The theorist that I've chosen to talk about this week, the subtitle on career is Dr. E. So I'm going to move this along just a little bit quickly. I always show the website my websites where I got my teachers from. Let me move this along because I want to leave y'all with a takeaway and also with a quote tonight. So my takeaway for tonight is, it says, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune, though. Okay? I'm going to say that again. Formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. And that's by Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N. And it says the information out there, and most of it is free. So it's crazy how much you can learn and grow your mind once you get into the habit of learning. It doesn't matter how many resources are available if you don't put them to use. So, all right, again, formal education, it will make you a living, but self-education is going to make you a fortune. All right, so hey, Angela, hi, good to see you. All right, let me move on to the quote for this evening. All right, so the quote for tonight is, in order to stay relevant, you have to stay open to new trends and keep educating yourself. All right, keep educating yourself. You have to keep evolving. And this is by Natalie Massenet. Okay, Natalie Massenet. All right, so I do not. Oh, this is my theory website, a reference page for my fellow theorists. Let me open this up. That's where I got my theory from for this week. Okay, my fellow theorists and counselors. All right, so I do not get anything from this, but I do encourage different type of help sites for those because I am a counselor myself, and I know that we can be better and stronger if we, even sometimes we have to go and sit down and talk with in a safe space, and it's all right. So let me I like to introduce these to different people. That too. Okay, this is Better Up. Better Up, you can create a personal and professional transformation through expert life coaching. www.betterup.com. All right, Ada Plus community. Okay, this empowers adults with ADD, ADHD, OCD to live their best lives. A different brain requires a different approach. www.adapluscommunity.com. All right, 988 Help Crisis. If you know someone that's experiencing a crisis, someone that might not be doing their best at this time, and they're feeling quite discouraged, 988 Crisis Hotline. Help is available 24/7. You can call it. You can go on go on any of your smart apps or whatever, smartphones. 988 Help Crisis, 24/7 help. Okay, and if you're feeling low, someone else is feeling low, 988 Helpline. All right, this is BetterHelp.com. If you want a safe space to speak with a licensed professional online, go to www.betterhelp.com. There are all kinds of counselors on there that'll help you as an individual, your children, or your family, or as a couples counseling. All right, so next, learningrx.com. If you're interested in brain training, a lot of professionals inquire help from learningrx.com. They go and they have brain training. It is there are people that who their IQ have increased 7 points, 10 points, 13 points. Is known fact. Learningrx.com. They have been doing this 30, 40 years. They have a wonderful track record for helping people with brain training, also with your memory and your focus as well. All right, so I am a professional one-on-one counselor. If you're interested in professional one-on-one counseling services, feel free to contact me. Inbox me on any of my social media pages. Not Shanrae Price Facebook page. That was hacked 3 years ago. I'm Facebook Shanrae Owens. Okay, but everything else is Shanrae Price. So if you're interested in one-on-one counseling, feel free to contact me at any of my inboxes, or you can do it old school at ShanraePrice@gmail.com. I'm a lifestyle strategist, and my aim is to aid you in your life's goals and your life's dreams. Alrighty, if there is a past Counsel of the Day of Shanrae series that you've missed or you just want to rewatch, go to my YouTube channel at Shanrae Price. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Then select any past series that you want to watch. All right, so guys, I will see you all Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do my counsel 4 times a year. And I do it every 3 months. But when I do it for one entire month, like I'm doing it for the entire month of November. Every Tuesday, every Thursday night from 9 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. We ran a little late tonight. So glad to have y'all. See y'all Thursday night. Good night, everybody. Bye.